Artist, your city manager, and I'd like to open the meeting and let the youth commissioners begin. We have our new city clerk with us tonight, Michelle Radcliffe. We'd like to introduce her. She could call the roll, and then we'll get started. And after that, she'll give a brief introduction of herself to the Youth Commission.
Hi, welcome. Let's start with a few house rules before we begin. Thank you for joining us this evening for the December 8th, 2020 Monte Sereno Youth Commission meeting. Before this meeting is called to order, I would like to point out a few house rules to assist commissioners, staff, members of the public to successfully participate in this meeting. Commissioners, your microphone is live, so please keep your microphones on mute until you wish to speak. For tonight's meeting, we are using Zoom to host the Youth Commission meeting. At the bottom of the Zoom client, there are two icons, chat and raise hand. Please use chat only to report technical issues such as being unable to hear a commissioner speak. Please use the raise hand icon to be recognized by the commission chair and enabled to speak to the commissioners. To comment under oral communication or any agenda item, you are allowed 3 minutes to speak per agenda item. Emails limited to 350 words can also be submitted to the city clerk and it will be read into the record. This word limit is set to adhere to the typical 3-minute time allowance. Only attendees using the Zoom application can use the raise hand option to comment. Participants calling in from telephone will only be able to listen and cannot provide feedback or public comment. Lastly, because we are not all in the same room, all votes at this meeting will be taken by roll call. I apologize. So let's roll call. Vardon Guy. Not present. Aviana Costello.
Present.
Jessica Guardino.
Here.
AJ Madala.
Here.
Kavya Narayan. Not here. Emily Needham. Arushi Saxena. Marcos Acero Blyshak.
Here.
McCoy Buchsteiner.
Here.
Paige Craig.
Here.
Savannah Lynn.
Here.
Kate Mekachek.
Here.
Sahil Varma.
Here.
And Rohan Varma.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Michelle, would you like to maybe give us a little bit of background about yourself, or any ideas or anything that you have for the Youth Commission, or anything that you're excited about or something?
Okay, sure, definitely. My name is Michelle Radcliffe. I have over, 16 years of clerk experience. My latest, I started with the city of San Jose, and I've worked in, my latest cities were Los Gatos, and then I worked for a special district in Menlo Park. It was a fire district. I started with the city about a month ago, so I am learning about the commissions, about the volunteers, the commissioners, and the city council. And I am just looking for ways to streamline the commission process and to support the commission in whatever endeavors or projects that you guys would like to do. So yeah, that's me.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so if we're getting started with the meeting, would anyone like to approve the minutes for October 13th? I personally am like here, so I'm going to abstain. But if anyone would like to get that rolling.
I approve the minutes.
Is there anyone?
So we're
who-
looking for a second.
I second.
Okay,
So
cool.
Michelle, you'll do the roll call vote on that.
Paige, do you mind repeating what you said? I think my audio cut out partially.
Oh yeah, I was just saying who would like to approve the minutes for the October 13th meeting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I approve.
Okay, are you guys ready for the roll call vote? Okay, Aviana Costello? And just say yes or yes or no.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Jessica Gordino,
Yes.
AJ Madala,
Yes.
Kavya, no, oh, sorry, no, Kavya's not there. Marcos,
Yeah.
McCoy Buchsteiner,
Yes.
Paige Craig,
Yes.
Savannah Lynn,
Yes.
Catherine Mekachuk,
Yes.
Sahil Varma,
Yes.
and Rohan Varma.
Yes.
And the motion passes.
Okay, and then for the November 10th meeting, did we have a quorum or?
No, there was no quorum.
We had no meeting that night because we had no quorum. So
Okay, cool.
tonight's meeting is largely going to be based on what we would have done on November 10th.
Okay. So we continue the discussion about the Social Justice Scholarship Award. Don't we have a committee for that?
Yes.
Okay, would the committee like to speak on it?
Yeah, I didn't talk with anyone else, but I just did some thinking. I think the best way to approach this is to do like a social media post because everyone does essays for these types of awards. So maybe doing something different, like they could find like something, I don't know if it's like a photo or whatever they want to do, and maybe they could have some like special paragraph in the caption, and then we could do it off of that. I think that's better than writing an essay. And then we said like the proceeds, we can't directly give them the money, but we can give it to them for so that they could donate to like a charity of their choice.
Okay, cool.
That is correct.
Can't like so posting on social media can't like aren't we not allowed to have like a social media account or like can we still post it on like Nextdoor and hope it reaches, or could we make like a social media account for like the specific scholarship? Or
I wasn't saying that we post something. I was saying like the students or like whoever could post something. But like the way we could like let people know is just through Nextdoor or something, or like on the city website.
oh yeah, okay, that's a good idea.
I do have a quick question though. How would you, just spitballing here, if you're not friends with that person on Instagram, how are you gonna know they posted something?
They could just use a hashtag.
And would you have a specific hashtag for them to use that they would have to
Yeah.
tag the city of Monte Sereno and tag? Or
Yeah,
tag?
they could also tag
Youth
like the
Commission
city of Monte Sereno too. That would be a lot better too.
and probably tag at least one of the members of the youth commission so that somebody's got
Yeah.
it? Okay. And would, there were some questions, like what would that entail? Like, would it be post something about what you've done to support social justice issues, or how would that? It would be like basically the same thing as an essay, but it would just be a social media post.
Right. It's like hard to compare an essay to like a social media post, but I think like what you said about something that they have done to make a change, or it could be about their experiences as well. That could be good too.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like I don't feel like there should be like a strict like set of rules that we have for the post. It's just like what people want to express, as long as like we think it's appropriate.
I think that's a very interesting way to do it, and it takes the pressure off of an essay because you guys are also busy with your own essays in school. So it makes it a very interesting and fun thing to do, for sure.
Yeah, and creating a hashtag is pretty easy. I mean, like all you have to do is you could just do Monte Sereno social justice scholarship award, and I guarantee you that there's like nothing tagged under that. So yeah, that would be really easy. We can just like create a little blurb to post on the website.
I have a small
Don't there?
concern.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I have a small concern, which would be that people would have to be like posting these posts like on their main account. And I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people are like careful about like what they post, and they might find it a bit like embarrassing to be like applying for an award in front of like hundreds of people and then like not winning it. Is that just not?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like, I don't know. It feels a little odd. It creates like uncomfortable situations for them.
I was gonna add in that, like, in the spirit of social justice, what about like all the people who don't have access to social media or just generally don't use it? Is there an alternative method we could accept? There's like a file submission or something.
Yeah.
I mean, then they could just write an essay or something. Like,
Or like, what about we did that, like they submit it to us and then the winner has a post on like Nextdoor or something. So like we post their submission and their submission is like or Instagram or just a general social media post, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like Kate's idea. That works because it's kind of like the best of both, like McCoy and like AJ's concerns in like all in one.
So you're saying like they could, just a quick question. So you're saying they could either submit an essay or do a social media post?
or like, I think what Craig or what Paige is trying to say, like maybe they send their submissions to us, whatever it could be, like paragraph about their experiences or like a picture or something, and then like some words to it as well, and then we post it on Nextdoor or like on the city website.
Yeah, and I like that idea of like a picture or like an art piece because I know a lot of people like express themselves through art and stuff like that, especially like for social justice. So I like that idea as well.
So we're kind of looking at like some type of an announcement, advertisement, something to get the folks engaged with the process of applying for the scholarship, take interest in it. Is that the idea of the picture?
Yeah, and I think like we would just like maybe not only post the winner, but like post like the top 10 or like maybe all of them if we feel like it.
Yeah, like honorable mentions and stuff. Yeah, it definitely depends on like how many submissions we get, but then I do like the idea of honorable mentions.
I think there should always be a second and third place or a top 5 or something like that. So we put together a time frame. The mayor actually came up with the time frame for the next series of meetings. Did everybody get a chance to look at that time frame as part of the staff report?
I just posted it in the chat box if you could take a look.
So it kind of logically lays out processes, what we need to complete by what points in time or what meetings, so we could move the whole effort forward in a structured fashion.
Yeah, that looks like a good timeline.
So maybe we can, as a starting point this evening, because you guys have had some great ideas, but let's kind of move to step 1 on the timeline, and I don't have it in front of me. So what is our first step?
thinking of a way to get the word out,
Well,
or
tonight's first step would be to finalize the application questions and format. So I think you guys have finalized it with the social media format. So what is the question or questions that you are going to ask them to submit their information?
Right about.
And those could be things like, what's important to you? Why do you feel social justice is important? Or what issues are the most important to you? Or what have you done in your life to support social justice issues? You know, stuff like that. You know, you guys have seen enough questions on applications to know what they're looking for.
And I was thinking it could be, 5 questions. If you could come up with 5 questions that they can kind of do like a paragraph or half a page answer for each question. Maybe it's 3 questions, maybe 5's too much, but something to that effect.
So I posted some suggestions for you guys to work off of that can probably spur your creativity. And I also think a name. Have you guys, I forget, did you guys come up with a name last time? I don't recall. It'd be very simple.
no, I don't think we have a name.
So tonight,
So
you guys,
Mayor,
go ahead.
I was thinking of the name, and last time you and I spoke about, because John Steinbeck lived in Monte Sereno, and we could call it something like the Steinbeck Scholarship or the Steinbeck Award.
What do you guys think? Something that sort of ties in the history of our city?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know what John Steinbeck had to do with, well, like social justice nowadays. I mean, if we can find like a tie that or something that ties it together, then I think that would be a good idea.
I mean, I guess his writing had like themes about social issues and that kind of stuff, but it's not exactly the same thing as what we maybe consider now as like social justice. But I think it is a valid option.
Or you guys could simply just do the simplest, and it's the Monte Sereno Social Justice Award.
It gets the point across pretty easily. So
I kind of just typed up like a sample one, like a rough one, but something like that, like 350 words, because like that's kind of like a good chunk. And if they like submit a piece of artwork, then they would have a 150-word description, just so that we like know exactly what we're looking at.
I like that a lot, actually. That's really good.
Okay, cool.
I also think we need a question talking about like the charity that they're donating to, just because it's kind of weird to like apply for a thing to donate money to somewhere and then like not talk about like why you want to donate the money there.
Okay, yeah, true.
But as far as 5 questions go, I don't think we need that many to really understand where the applicants are coming from. And I think it'll just put them off if they have to write a bunch of paragraphs.
Wait, I have a quick question. Oh, sorry. But so this is gonna be a social media post. Will they be writing this in the caption? Because the caption has a word limit, I think. I don't know what exactly is the word limit, but I think, yeah, 350 for like each essay may be a bit too much, that they have to actually post like multiple times instead of just one.
Yeah. So some like social media, like social justice accounts or like anything of that similar sort, they would do like they would write pictures, or they would write words literally in the picture and then post that and have multiple slides. So then like you can swipe through and look through the words. So I think that's like an alternative.
Wait, didn't we move away from like the social media thing and instead they were just going to submit it and then we were like going to post the winners on our
Oh
website?
yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that's
weren't even
fine.
gonna post on. Yeah, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, so I does that answer your question?
I thought we were going to do like either way. We could do social media or a post on the website.
I feel like there's too much variability with like different social media pages and stuff like that. I think it's just easier to have like one standard essay or like standard prompt for everyone to do.
Yeah, I think the plan was to have a standard prompt and then have them submit it through like email and stuff and then post those submissions, like the top 10 that we go over on social media just for like citizens of like Monte Sereno to look at and like acknowledge those people who have taken the time to apply for the scholarship.
Okay. So it'll just be submitted through one platform, which is like through email or through the website.
I have one quick thing. What if they don't know how the profits will be used exactly? Because I know when you donate to like big charities, like they don't say, oh, this is exactly how we'd use the money, and it's kind of like split up into a whole bunch of things. So what if we just say, please describe the charity of your choice, like in 150 words?
Why not just like name of the charity and then like what do they do?
And then just why you chose that charity, and I think that's good enough.
Cool. Also, I looked up where John Steinbeck lived. It says that he lived in Salinas, but I could be wrong. But wasn't that the
He
author?
lived for a brief time in Monte Sereno.
Oh, okay.
So John Steinbeck lived, I think it was from 32 to 34, something like that, off of Greenwood here in Monte Sereno. Before Monte Sereno was incorporated as a city, it was probably considered part of Los Gatos at the time. And then during the time he lived here, he actually wrote The Grapes of Wrath, and then he actually finished up the book called Of Mice and Men. So two books that they make us read in school. I'm sure we've all read them. Very important literary works. Very significant American literature. In particular, the Grapes of Wrath dealt with social justice type of issues. So if you guys decided we want to call this award the Grapes of Wrath Award, that might mean something. Or there could be an entirely different name.
No, I like that name. And I also looked up just in case if there was any like Steinbeck scholarship, and we're lucky there's only a Steinbeck fellowship scholarship, so we're all good in that area.
I think
I believe there's
keep in mind that the name of the scholarship should describe what it's for, so people understand what they're applying for as well. So it needs to be clear that it's a social justice type situation.
What about the Grapes of Wrath social justice scholarship?
that sounds like one good idea. Are there others? And this is something that if you throw a couple out there, you can even consider coming back next time and, nailing down the title even more. But just give it some thought.
I feel like we should have something social justice in the name, just so it catches the attention pretty quickly, and like they'll understand what it's about. So, yeah, I like Grapes of Wrath Social Justice Award.
What about like the Steinbeck Social Justice Scholarship? I think maybe we'll look at something very similar to that. Chat.
I think that works. The only thing I'm worried about is people potentially thinking that like it's only about like literature and social justice rather than just social justice as a whole. So that's my one concern.
That's a very good point.
I mean, I guess when we like release this, like there's the name and then we can like offer like a short description of like what we're looking for and like what it's about.
Yeah, I agree. Like, if they're interested in the title, which I think Grapes of Wrath like seems fairly interesting, then they can just read the description. And I feel like Grapes of Wrath is like a cool name to have, and I'm sure it'll catch attention.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I think the name should be kind of like self-explanatory. Like I don't. I feel like it should just kind of be like relatively understandable on its own, which is like my concern with like the Grapes of Wrath Social Justice Award or like the John Steinbeck Social Justice Award.
Those are also very good points. You know, it should be kind of catchy, memorable. It should be not generic in the sense that if you just call it like Monte Sereno Social Justice Award, that's kind of straightforward, tells exactly what it is. But if you wanted to sort of brand it a little bit, I mean, you could. So it requires some thought, honestly. It does require some thought.
I mean, I like tying it to like Grapes of Wrath or Steinbeck or something, just because like yeah, it like does catch people's attention right away, and like if they are interested, I mean like they are gonna read the description obviously, and but yeah, like I also think like standard names kind of like get lost in like people's minds, like oh, what is it like? Social Justice Monte Sereno Scholar, like they like mix it around because it's like like pretty like textbook. I don't know, but I don't know. Like it's definitely something we can vote on too.
So if it was like the Steinbeck Social Justice Award, there's something called, I believe it's called the Steinbeck Award at San Jose State, but they don't add the word social justice.
Yeah, so we could just call it like the Steinbeck Social Justice Award, or like scholarship, I think, or is it an award?
I think I would stick to the words award because it would be nice if we could give the money to the individual so they could put it towards their school. But apparently because we are a government organization, we can only give it to another nonprofit organization rather than an individual. So we would have to give it to the organization of their choice, which they could still put it on their college resume, and it's a great achievement, and it is very meaningful as well for the community, as well as society. And then it gives them the opportunity to support something they really care about, their favorite charity, and what that means to them as well. So I think it serves a lot of great purpose. It's just not going to be kind of a cash award, which also would have been a great thing just for the student to apply towards their college. We can't do it that way.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so
But it'll still have all the great impact that we intended it to have.
So did we want to vote on a name now, or did we want to like table it, move on, and then vote next time if we're like following a timeline? Because I think like we have like the discussion questions like in check, and then all we need to do is like figure out the name. So
I think the name could be, maybe bring home the ideas with you that we discussed, and we can work on that for next time, come up with a few different titles and pick one, and maybe via, between now and the next meeting, you guys can text each other, chat, do whatever to kind of weigh in on it, and then bring it back next time. So I think most importantly is trying to stick to the time frame established in that calendar and see if we could now move forward on some of the bigger steps and kind of get the meat of the project moving forward.
It looks like you guys have finalized the format and the questions, which is great. And so I guess the next idea would be when to start advertising it to your schools. Would you be each going to your own schools or other high schools? And how would you communicate that with the counseling departments there?
I mean, I know like I can get into like direct contact with my English teachers and stuff like that, but I also think like students can publicize it on like their stories and stuff like that. Like a lot of people pay attention to those now. So like through everyone like posting it on their social media accounts and those getting reposted, I mean, it will make its way. But then, yeah, I think because we all come from different schools like Harker and like LG and Saratoga. So I think we can all like take charge of like communicating to our own schools to like get it around.
There's also the printed versions of the school newspapers, and I'm not sure how they're doing that at Los Gatos High School or Saratoga High School currently. Are they still issuing a print newspaper that they mail to everybody's house periodically?
I think they're just emailing it now. So it's like through like an email list.
Okay. But yeah, to get it, just get the word out through whatever medium you can at the school. And the city can also reach out to the administration of the school as well.
Quick question for you guys. How long, if you were to do this scholarship, if you were to, or award, if you were to answer these questions and submit something, how long would you like to have to do so? A couple weeks, a month? What, in terms of like setting up like the timeline for due dates, et cetera, what would be a reasonable time for you guys?
I mean,
think a month.
Yeah, a month. That would be good.
So backing up from, say, the April meeting where you would review and nominate the winner, then you would need to have everybody have their submissions by the beginning of April, which means when do you want to go live with this, or what would the due date be then for you guys to have enough time to review them?
I think the due date would be what, March? And then we could go live with it January. Is that kind of long? That's good. Okay.
So you would need a name by January, and then it goes from there. Okay, cool.
Okay, so should we move on to the next order of business, which is the connect students to tutor and how that's going?
I haven't done much with that. I was just busy with other stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, like, I know that schools are like finally doing their own tutoring things. So.
Yeah, there's something set up at the school already. So.
Okay. Are there any other youth commission? So there's no reports, any youth commission comments or staff comments that anyone would like to make?
Steve, did you want to mention the coat drive? I don't know if the city manager is still on the line, but
yeah, it looks like he dropped off. So
yeah. I just wanted to just remind the commission that the coat drive is ongoing until December 31st. We have a table out in front of City Hall for coat donations that will be distributed to West Valley Community Services. Mayor, did you want to add anything else?
No, that's great. Thanks you guys for doing everything you can during these difficult times. I know we're all really tired of Zooming in meetings in school, et cetera. And I know you're all super busy. So just thanks for all of your work.
Mayor, if I may add to the coat drive ideas, we have had probably about 12 coats dropped off, which is very good. And if the Youth Commission could, Ms. Radcliffe has a flyer that she has created and she can distribute it to all of you again. But if you want to post it all over next door and social media, you know, get the word out at your school. If we can get 20 to 30 coats or 100 coats, I'll bring them all down to West Valley Community Services, and those will help a lot of people. It's an easy thing to do. A lot of people do canned food drives. A lot of people do toy drives, but these are just nice winter coats or whatever people have in their closet. You know, this is the time of year where they kind of get rid of stuff and they get new stuff. And if they have nice stuff they've never worn or whatever, as long as it's clean, they could bring it and just put it right on the table outside. Social distancing, nobody has to worry about any germs or anything else. We'll take care of everything. And it's kind of a low barrier to entry to participate. So anything you could do to spread the word to get us some more coats, we appreciate it. And we'll put a little article in our city newsletter about it when we.
Hi, sorry, it's Michelle. I do have on our City of Monte Sereno Instagram page, there is a flyer that was already posted, or there was a post that was back in November. So you can share that if you'd like, or I could forward it to you. Actually, I'll send it out to you via email, but it's also on our Instagram page, so you can take it from there if you'd like to share.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Will do. Okay, so should we adjourn this meeting at 7:38? Cool. I'll see you guys next year.
Thank you.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Stay safe, all.
Thank you for your participation. Bye.